All right, today we're diving deep into the world of a powerful and honestly a really complex Yoruba deity, Ogun, the divine force of iron itself. Right off the bat, this ancient praise poem just hits you with the core of who Ogun is. It immediately tells you you're dealing with a being of intense, powerful contradictions. Because on one hand, he's the divine blacksmith, the one who forges the very tools that build civilization. But on the other, he's the fierce warrior whose rage can tear it all down. He's progress and he's destruction, all rolled into one. So let's get into it. To really understand why Ogun is so important, we have to go way back. I mean, all the way back to the very beginning of the world, according to Yoruba cosmology. Now you'll hear the terms orisha and orunmola. Basically, these are divine spirits, intermediaries between us and the supreme creator. And Ogun, well, he's one of the original 401 Orunmola, the first spirits sent to get the world ready for us. So picture this. All the divine spirits get to the edge of Earth, but there's a problem. Their path is blocked by this thick, tangled, impossible wilderness. The other gods are stuck, but Ogun, he knows the secret of iron. He forges a machete and carves a path through all that chaos. He alone could do it, which earned him the title Osin Imole, the very first and most important orisha to touch the earth. So now he's on Earth, and this is where that incredible duality, that double-edged sword of his power, really starts to show. And just look at his domains. It's this incredible spectrum, from the iron in a farmer's hoe to the steel in a soldier's rifle. From hunting and labor to roads and technology, it's everything. Even his sacred number 7 points to this spiritual completeness, his deep influence over our world. But that fierce energy, it can absolutely turn destructive. There's a famous story about how, after drinking palm wine, his immense power just spiraled into an uncontrollable rage. He ended up rampaging through the very villages he was meant to protect. And when he realized what he'd done, he was filled with shame. It's his powerful lesson, that even divine strength needs restraint. This is where you see just how sacred iron is. Blacksmiths are seen as these almost superhuman figures, connecting our world to the spirit world. They're not just making tools, they're forging conduits for Ashe. That's the divine life force that flows through everything. And get this, Ogun is the ultimate enforcer of oaths. He's the god of justice for a reason. In Yoruba courts, people literally swear on a piece of iron in his name. Why? Because he's seen as completely impartial. He doesn't play games, and lying in his name is believed to bring swift and very severe consequences. Now, the story takes this huge, tragic turn. When millions of Yoruba people were enslaved and forcibly brought to the Americas, Ogun's spirit traveled right along with them. And here's what's absolutely crucial for his survival. Think about it. Ogun's power wasn't tied to a specific mountain or river back in Africa. It was tied to a material, iron. This meant enslaved people could find his presence everywhere. In the very chains that bound them, in the hammers they were forced to use, in railroad spikes, his power was portable. So, once in the Americas, people had to get really clever. They developed this brilliant strategy for keeping their faith alive. It's called syncretism. What they did was just genius. They looked at these powerful Catholic warrior saints and saw reflections of Ogun. So by merging Ogun with saints who shared his traits, strength, justice, being a warrior, they could continue their devotion right out in the open. Like in Brazil, St. George fighting a dragon, that was a perfect mirror for Ogun's power to conquer any obstacle. You might think Ogun's domain stops with swords and farm tools, right? Not even close. His influence has just kept expanding with every single leap in technology. I mean, think about it. Today, Ogun is the patron of drivers on the highway. His domain covers cars, trains, all of it. And yes, that includes the very laptop or phone that you're using to watch this explainer right now. He's the force behind the tech that drives our world forward. And it all comes full circle in this beautiful way. Modern blacksmiths are still doing Ogun's work. They take salvaged parts from our industrial world, old car parts, truck wheels, refrigerators, and they forge them into new things for daily use, for art, and for ritual. It's Ogun's creative, transformative power in action. So that leaves us with this really provocative thought. In an age of AI, of digital worlds and new frontiers we can't even imagine yet, what new paths is the god of iron clearing for us today? What tangled wilderness of information is he forging a way through for us, right now?